Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Grayboardgamer here with the continuation of Cannibal Island. We're getting ready to start round number 5. I do need to make some corrections, but before I make some corrections, I want to apologize for the delay in getting this series out. I know that there are several days, sometimes 4 or 5 between episodes, but I'm currently in the process of going through buying a house and doing all the things that entails, so that's kind of slowing down my ability to produce board game playthrough videos at the moment, but I'm getting out as fast as I can, and once all this is settled, we will get back up to the normal pace of getting things out on a more frequent basis. The first correction I want to mention is something all the way back from round 2, I believe, when I created the rope. One of the viewers noticed that when I did the build action for the rope, I rolled these gray dice, which are for gathering resources, and I should have rolled these brown dice for a build action. Now the dice are different, so let's look at the differences in them. So we have the brown and the gray dice, whether or not we have to do an adventure. The gray has 3 blank and 3 question marks. The brown has 3 question marks and 3 blanks. So there's nothing wrong there. That's not an issue. Those dice would have most likely come up the same. Where we do have a problem is here in the wound die. Gathering resources, there's only a 1 in 6 chance that you're going to take a wound. When you're building something, using tools and using items that are sharp, there's a 4 in 6 chance. So I'm going to re-roll this one to see if I should give the explorer the wound, because that's who did it. And gathering resources, there are all successes except for 1 would give you 2 determination tokens, and on the brown there are 4 successes and 2 spots with determination tokens. Well, not exactly the same. That one's close enough where I don't feel too bad about that one. I wish I would have rolled the proper dice, but I didn't. I can't take that back now, so I'll go ahead and re-roll the brown wound die to see if the explorer should have a wound. Let's see if our explorer would have a wound. Nope. Well, again, I don't feel too good about rolling the wrong dice. I feel like the outcome would have been almost the same, if not the same, now that I was able to re-roll that wound die, which was the biggest difference as far as the dice go. Next, I made an error when creating the shortcut with the explorer here. I had that great roll to create the shortcut, but I failed to notice that the map is a prerequisite for creating the shortcut. And at the time that I did this, I was making the map in the same turn. So I can't have the shortcut at this time. I'm going to take this off the tile. Now, I'm going to put it up here in the future resources again, because I'm going to create it this time, and I'm going to keep my awesome die roll that I had from the other round. And I will allocate the explorer to create it again. But that means that the explorer had an action left over from the last turn, because he should not, or I'm sorry, she should not have been able to even attempt to create that shortcut. And to keep it really simple, I'm just going to say that that extra action that I have now, because I didn't create the shortcut, is going to go to healing, to keep it really simple, and have her heal 1 wound. And just to say it again, what I did for this correction was I acted like in the last turn, round number 4, I healed a wound here instead of creating the shortcut, and now this round, I am going to create the shortcut, which means she does not have these 2 determination tokens yet that she got from creating that shortcut. I already put it up in the future resources because I'm going to allocate one of the explorer's tokens there, just like I did last round. But I'm going to do it this round. I'm going to keep my awesome die roll because the scenario is hard enough, and I actually rolled it, so I want to keep it and act like it happens this round later on. And one last thing that someone pointed out, because I asked for strategy tips, one of the viewers realized that the pot that I have, and I didn't realize it, is if I have the pot, I can use a food to heal a wound during the night phase. And I had that one extra food that I ended up throwing away. So I'm going to say that I didn't throw it away and I used it with my pot to heal somebody. I just have to choose who it's going to be. It cannot be the soldier because he was not in camp during the night phase. He was out wandering around, got lost, and had to spend the night outside the camp. So either the cook or the carpenter should heal, or maybe even the explorer again. Who do I want to heal besides the soldier for using the pot and eating that food instead of throwing it away from last round? The explorer's 3 away from dying, cook 3, carpenter 4. So between the explorer and the cook's right up against an arrow, and the explorer is not. So we will heal the cook. Now I think I've made all the corrections I wanted to make. I fixed the dice that I used incorrectly on the rope. The shortcut error will be resolved, and I used the pot. Not that that was a mistake, but I'm going to let myself go back and use that just because of how difficult this is. And thank you for the suggestion also. Before the start of the round though, we have our wrong track event for the soldier. At the beginning of the next round before the event phase, get 2 wood. So our soldier was nice enough to bring a couple of wood back, and that'll put us at 2 wood added on, at a total of 3 now. Still 1 short of building the shelter. I was hoping to get wood from the shortcut, but that's non-existent, so we're going to have to try and find wood from another source to build the shelter. Our carpenter has 2 determination tokens, and with the economical construction, she can discard 2 to spend 1 less wood during 1 action of any type. So we could build the shelter with just a 3 wood because that's what we would require with her 2 determination tokens. And now that I see that, I think I made a mistake in healing the cook. I should have healed the carpenter because I think I have to discard the determination token. I can't choose to take the wound. So we're going to lose that token, which means she will not have it available for the economical construction. This is difficult, but all that aside, we're going to go into our event phase. All right. In the morning, you find the dead body of the predator that previously attacked you. Get 2 food and a fur. Draw another card. Well, let's see. The other card might not be too kind to us. We got our 2 food here. I don't know if these go in the future or the current resources when they come from an event card. We get those resources immediately. So those 2 food and the fur are already available. It's nice to get the extra resources, have the soldier back, but we still have another event card to draw. And we're at the precipice. A landslide occurred during the hurricane. Your camp is on the edge of a precipice. Got to put the green question mark on the explorations deck. If possible, choose an island tile adjacent to your camp and turn it face down. It becomes inaccessible. Well, it's definitely possible. We have 4 tiles adjacent to our camp. This one contains our 3rd village. The other 2 villages have been burnt down. If I flip one of these over to become inaccessible, then does the village still count as coming off? Because it's still burnt down, it just means we can't get to the tile now. I mean, to my judgment, without trying to dig into the rules too much, it's been burnt down. If I flip this over, it's still considered burnt down and helps us out when calculating strength. I don't want to do it to this one because then it would not be considered burnt down. We couldn't access it, and then we still would only be at 2, and I want to take another one out to be at 3, so any of the book symbols that come up, which we luckily didn't get this time, will not do any damage to us. I think I am going to look at the rules and make sure that if I flip over one that has not been burnt down, is it considered destroyed because of the hurricane or not? Let me see if I can find something to help me out with that determination. The rule book says that tiles that are flipped or inaccessible can no longer hold markers or tokens or anything like that. They cannot be re-entered. It can't be used to go through. So I think if I flip one of these, and if it cannot have any tokens or markers, that means that these would go away, and the benefits I gained from that would go away too. At least in my opinion, that's how I'm going to interpret it. So I will flip the beach tile that we started on to make it inaccessible, and we'll get a nice look at the volcano on the other side. Not used in this scenario, but we're going to see it anyway, and that will satisfy the text on this card, and we don't have to worry about losing our benefits. If we do explore though, we are going to have an adventure, and our 1 threat card moves over to make room for this one, so we're going to have to send somebody here. This one requires wood, 2 wood, and a person. This one just requires 1 token and a weapon strength of at least 2. We'll probably go there because I want to try and find a way. I don't know how I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to be able to build a shelter again, so I will have to suffer wounds again. So we're going to have to make sure everybody is healed up enough that they're not going over another arrow to lower the morale. Next, our morale is at -1 determination token. The carpenter is our first player, and she must discard the determination token. You cannot choose to take the wound in place of it, so she still only has 1. That will move us into the production phase, and unfortunately we are no longer on a tile with wood, but we will gain 2 food. But let's not forget our pit to see if we gain any more food. Yes, we do. That's 2 more. We've got lots of food. If only we could build a shelter out of food. That will move us into our first part of the action phase, and we need to place these tokens everywhere. Again, I've committed to having the explorer work on the shortcut like we did in the previous round and keep those awesome results. But we have everyone else to take care of. We do have our exploration token, so we could explore this tile right next to us also. The cook is 4 wounds away from dying and 1 away from an arrow. So we'll let her use the map to successfully investigate this tile here. And then we have the dog available for an attack or another exploration action. I think we need to attack this village, but our weapon strength is only 3. What can we do to increase our weapon strength and have someone go with the dog and attack and burn down our third village. While I'm thinking about that, our soldier will have to heal. I don't have a choice. I could use the extra food if we have it and the pot to heal another wound on the soldier also, and we'll go ahead and assign him there. We do need to take care of this threat. Whoever takes care of this chasing out the predator threat will get 1 determination token. And seeing that the soldier is going to be the first player next round, I think it's a good idea that we'll have him do that. He won't have to worry about getting wounded, and he'll get a determination token. That way, if he has to discard any because of the low morale, he'll have 1 at least to get rid of before taking wounds. Again, I probably won't have enough wood, so we should probably have the carpenter. I'm going to put 1 of her tokens here, and then we can determine when we get there if we need to raise a morale 1 or if we're going to let her take 2 determination tokens. We still got some tokens left to distribute out though. And what are the main concerns that we have that we need to take care of? I mean, we could make bricks, that's pointless. The dam would give us 2 non-perishable food but use a wood. We could make the cure, which is useful if we want to go after a 4th village, because if you don't have the cure, you'll take 3 wounds if you find the 4th village. Whew. Alright, so we got those 3 tokens and the dog. We do also have a village to attack. I do have 4 more rounds after this one to make it. I think maybe I need to take it easy this round. The dog's going to get a break because I'm not going to attack. If I attacked, I'm going to take 3 wounds with whoever attacks, because there's no way for me to build the weapon strength up, because build comes after hunting, so the attack will occur before we could strengthen our weapon. I don't have enough determination tokens to do anything for anybody. We could gather resources and gather some wood, and that would ensure that we have enough to build a shelter in the next round. That might be a smart thing to do. Actually, I'm going to let the soldier take it easy. Let him rest and gain 2 back. We will have the carpenter take care of the predator to get a determination token. That way she'll have 2 again, which means she could use 1 less wood to build the shelter. As long as we keep our wood, we'll be okay. We got 2 tokens left here to deal with. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to have the cook take the lead with the explorer and do a gather resources on the tile next to us there to get some wood, because I want to make sure I have enough to build the shelter. Either I'll have 4 and I'll be good, or if I lose 1, she'll have 2 determination tokens. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do to raise the morale up right now, so the soldier is going to have to be very careful. He's going to heal 2, and then he's going to take 1 because of the shelter. Well, we'll worry about that when we get to it, but the dog's just going to relax, and we're going to start into our second half of the round with the threat action first. So our carpenter is successful at chasing the predator out. We'll discard it, and she will get a determination token and now have 2. There is no hunting going on and no attacking going on. Moving into building, and we're going back to this shortcut action that we said we were going to do again, and she'll get her 2 determination tokens this time. And I will spend the 2 determination tokens immediately to do reconnaissance, which says discard 2 tokens to draw 3 island tiles from the stack. Look at them, choose 1 shuffle the other two back in and place the chosen one on top. So I'll be able to choose what they're going to find, because I do not want to flip over a fourth cannibal village for sure, because that would kill somebody by taking 3 wounds, because we do not have the cure. We have a river, and there are some mountains, and it has a natural shelter we could move to, but our cannibal village is there. So that is out, because if we did that, the cook would suffer 3 wounds and put her 1 step away from dying, because we do not have the cure, and then we have to discard other resources too. So I think it's a choice between these two, and I think I'm going to go with this one, because I want as many resource tokens as possible to try and help me out here, because things are getting difficult. So we'll put this one down for a moment, grab our other tiles, give them a mix, straighten them back out and put them down into a draw pile, and this one will go on top. And we can move past the build actions. No one else is building anything? No. Going to gather resources, which we can do here with the explorer and the cook. And we are able to gain a wood. So now we have enough to build the shelter in the next round. We'll finally have enough to build the shelter as long as we can hold on to that wood, or at least hold on to 3 of them with the carpenter's determination tokens. We'll move over to our cook, who is exploring. We'll put this back on the map so we don't forget about it. And we already know what she's going to find. It's going to be our river tile, which means we're going to draw a beast card and put it on the deck, and we're going to get 3 of the resource tokens also. Let me grab the beast here. Well, there's only 2 cards. Let me do them quickly so I don't remember which one's on top. Alright, there we go. I don't know. The beast is still dangerous. 1 more if we ever do a hunt action again. But we can draw 3 tokens now and hope for something really good. Well, it could be something good. So we have a treasure. Huh. That actually is not very good, because you can only use the pot once. Oh, that gets rid of a weather icon. That could be useful. Let me see if that's something we're allowed to hold on to. Our food will need to be cashed in right away. We have a treasure, but this weather can be held on to, or negate 1 rain cloud can be held on to, and we can use that when we need it most. We're not done yet with our exploration action, because we have to have an adventure with the cook. And it is a shrine. Down in the valley, you spot a shrine in the woods. Decide. Draw this card, or not draw, discard this card, or draw 1 mystery card and only resolve treasure, and shuffle this adventure into the event deck. Well, what happens if we do? Oh, we have nightmares. Then we have to put the reroll success token on the building, gathering resources, and exploration action fields. During next action, each of these types, you have to 1. Wow. I think that meant you have to reroll 1 of the success results. Looks like we have a word missing there. And then draw another card. Is it worth the risk? I think so. I think it's worth the risk. Let's draw a mystery card, only resolve the treasure, and then shuffle this into the deck. We'll go ahead and shuffle it in now. I'm going to take that chance because I have that treasure token. Let me look away, keep shuffling, and end up with one of the regular event card backs. Grab our deck here. That is not a treasure. That is not a treasure. Nope. We'll keep going until we resolve one. There we go. We found a helmet. You find a rotten and damaged but still usable conquistador helmet. Keep this card. Starting next round, each time a player fights a beast, he can ignore 1 wound. Each time a player fights a beast, he can ignore 1 wound. Wow. Well, that is nice. We'll definitely keep that. Let me reach up there. We'll just put it up near that. Shuffle these back in since they were unresolved. Alright, well, we got something to protect us when fighting a beast, it says. It doesn't say anything about whether that would apply to the village, which I don't think it does. Well, that adventure wasn't too bad. Could come back to hurt us though. And now the carpenter can choose 2 determination tokens, or we're going to increase the morale by 1. Well, she already has 2. Let's go ahead and increase the morale by 1. That is going to get us back to 0 finally. Our soldier took it easy, stayed in camp, rested, and healed 2 wounds. We're at the end of the action phase, and all of this stuff will become available. And we have to cash our food in right away, though. We can't hold on to that one. So we have way too much food for once. Don't forget about our helmet. We'll place it, where can I put it? Over here by the dog. I think we can still see it. Yes, it's still in frame. That'll remind us that we have that at any time that we need it to fight a beast. Can ignore a wound. Before we enter the next phase, we will turn in our treasure token because we need stuff to help us. Not a treasure. It is. We got old clothes. A little smelly, but they still work. Keep this card. From now on, 1 of the winter cloud or snow cloud equals a rain cloud. Well, definitely not very useful in this particular scenario because we don't roll weather dice. So the odds of us needing the old clothes are pretty thin. But we have to shuffle this one back in. But if by chance that winter cloud symbol comes up again, then at least we won't have to worry about dealing with it as a snow cloud. Also, we have our shortcut here. And we're not going to move camp. So the shortcut is now created. And we will put the token right there adjoining that tile so we can get another resource at the beginning of the next round. We don't have any weather to deal with. That will take us into the night phase. And in the night phase, everybody has to eat. That is definitely not an issue. So we have 4 food for everybody to eat. And we have 4 left. One of which we will use with the pot to heal a wound. Our carpenter is going to have a little bit extra food, have a really good meal, heal another wound thanks to the pot, and I chose to heal her because she was the only one up against one of the arrows. That way, since we're about to take a wound each, it will not lower our morale. Our meal is over, but once again, I have failed to make the shelter. So everyone is sleeping outside under the open sky, getting bit by bugs, being cold, maybe getting rained on a little bit. Everybody takes a wound, but nobody crossed an arrow to lower the morale. Unfortunately, we have 3 food that is perishable that we cannot use and will get discarded because you can only use the pot one time. The cook doesn't have any determination tokens to use to whip up another batch of grandma's recipe. So that is all we can do, and that will end this night phase. We decided not to move the camp. We'll move the first player token to the soldier, clear this off of the explorer, and that's going to be everything. That's it. We'll move this over to round 6, and now we're getting past the halfway point where we only have 4 rounds remaining. We're going to need to find and explore one of these spots. That way we have a connector to the city of the cannibals, and we need to build our weapon up, which means we're going to need wood, or the soldier's going to need to get determination tokens. Unfortunately, the only mountain we could find had a cannibal village on it, which we could not risk taking 3 wounds just to have the mountain appear. Man, this is rough. The explorer is 2 away from dying, cook 3, carpenter 4, soldier 2. Everybody is hurt really bad. Hopefully building the shelter in the next round and having morale not be in the basement for one of the rounds finally. Unless, of course, our event coming up lowers our morale. Wasn't a lot going on that round, but it was necessary to kind of regroup and get our stuff together and get ready for the next upcoming rounds. I think maybe this round I might have to spend also recuperating. Maybe we'll do an exploration action, but if we do that it's dangerous because these got shuffled, which means we could pull the next village and whoever explores it would take 3 wounds and we would be in a lot of trouble. Thank you for joining me for that pretty quick round. Not a whole lot of action going on there, but again, necessary. Take a moment, if you haven't, to check out the other videos on the channel. If you like what you see, please consider supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Those likes and those shares really help the channel grow. As of the recording of this, I'm approaching 1,000 subscribers, so thank you for everyone that is subscribing and watching on a regular basis. Your support is appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video for round number 6.